Good morning, everyone. We normally say happy Friday, but since it's Thursday and markets are closed tomorrow, happy Thursday. Anyway, I don't know what's up with this hourly chart. It won't fill in some symbols. I even changed it, so we'll just have to deal with it. I'll use work off of the 15. Just as far as what's going on here, which isn't too much. So let's go back here. At the beginning of the week, I talked about this. It wound up taking hold after a couple of frustrating days. Um, when the markets did nothing, they sold off at the end of the day. It didn't do too much damage. I mean, I mentioned about, hey, who are they? Just the collective minds of everyone participating in the market, institutions, whatever, try and walk it down towards a support level before bringing it up. Because what typically has been happening, ahead of these numbers, and today's numbers turned out to be a yawn, GDP and whatever else came out there, jobless claims. And so, but tomorrow, the Fed's favorite number for inflation, PCE, comes out. But, so at the end of the day yesterday, things were just rattling around, same as always. You can see going nowhere, took a little blip to the downside and then just ripped it up. I don't know if there was any news or, institutions were just lurking down there. But earlier in the week, I pointed out this, get something here, this put buying. I was like, what's up with that? And so my thought was, if the markets don't sell off, right? That was on last Friday, I guess. Maybe that would drive the market higher because these bearish bets, they're options. I didn't look to see how far out they go, but if they were expiring, this week, that hedge, and this takes off, it helps drive prices higher. So I don't know what drove it higher. Maybe that was it. I mean, I thought like this is weird, kind of weird, things drifting down. It wasn't a big deal. I guess it was extended. But anyway, it was this piece of information that was like, that could cause things to move. And maybe that's what did it yesterday. So now, we had that move up, looking at the 5-minute chart. It's consolidating the gain and maybe it'll go higher. And so there's some big bets today that this is going to make new all-time highs on options on SPX that are going to expire at the end of the day. So we shall see. Or does it just chop sideways here and, another nothing day ahead of the holiday? But this breakout bar failure pattern that I also mentioned earlier in the week, and things aren't set yet, because so far we do have the inside day. We've got this little breakout above this consolidation and an inside bar on the weekly chart. So the thing to take note of is at the end of today, did the markets go nowhere? Essentially not up or down very much, but close with a weekly inside bar. So is the thinking behind this is here's a consolidation, obviously, like 3.5 weeks or so. It breaks out. Okay, fine. It should continue because he had all of this resting period. It should just continue higher. Why go nowhere? Which isn't anything in the moment, right? Because it can go higher next week, especially if those numbers tomorrow are considered to be, favorable. However, if it breaks down below the low of the inside bar, and each pattern, let me just add a disclaimer to that. Every pattern that we trade, like, yesterday, M tops, W bottoms, climactics, every pattern that develops doesn't guarantee it's going to follow through. Pattern recognition, what we do every single day is recognize what the trend is, up, down, or sideways. Is it extended, relative strength and weakness, support, resistance, pattern? What type of pattern lines up with your analysis? So this is extended. We've got a breakout. We've got an inside bar. Will it fail? So we'll see next week. And it's just a point of interest we'll see how this plays out or not. So I mentioned these things and we'll revisit to see what actually happens. But at the moment, the trend is up on the weekly. The trend is up on the daily. It got extended. There's the acceleration, right? Last week's wider range bar breaking out above this resistance. And this week, it's running in place, doing nothing near the top of the range. And we'll see how today plays out. Right? So yesterday's move being what it was, right? Now option traders say, oh, this is going to go up tomorrow. Maybe it will, but it's going to have to go up quite a bit to get above this area, above that high, which the trend implies that that's very possible. And, the hourly chart pulled back. You had this the day before on Wednesday. It looked like, oh, man, this thing's going down here. And then it gapped up yesterday and did a whole lot of nothing until the latter part of the day. And there's one of those correction bars, right? The dip down and then flip back up again, kind of like we've talked about some setups like this, we call them gotcha setups, where it breaks the low, but it forms a correction bar. And then it just accelerated higher. Everything just pushed higher, which created obviously this daily bar. So we'll see if there's follow through. Does a pattern like this should follow through? Why? Well, you had a strong move. You had this drifting move back, right? Trying to make a rounding top, then move, a downside shakeout, and now this move. This is supposed to go up, black and white. That's what it's supposed to do. Now we're going to see what it does. So right now, it's not doing much of anything. Will it take out this pivot high ahead of the news? Will it stop them, or will? That's the unknown, right? That's what we call the hard right edge. Who knows? Nobody knows for sure. We know the trend is up. We got a bullish hourly time frame. All it's got to do is take out a pivot high. Let's see what happens. Will it go back down to yesterday's low? That's where the downside strike is. If it does start selling off in the morning, look to be below 5,200, the whole number for the put credit spread, because whole number, open interest there, the pattern. So it wouldn't take a lot to increase that premium. If it's just say maybe it comes down to the top of the red bar. I have to turn on the cursor over here, but look at the 15-minute chart. See the pivots on the 15-minute chart. If in the morning it pulls back on top of that, what we refer to as minor support, it was resistance, becomes support. It comes down there. Buyers should be willing to step up on any pullback. And then this 5,205 should be able to do 5,200. So keep that in mind. If it goes down, this number is going to come down, which right now, 5,280, it's $1. So even if it came down to, say, 80 cents, 80 by 85, it would be okay. Okay, everything else here. How do they look? Industrials look like it should go up. Right? There's that pattern. And here's, trying to make that turn there, and it held up the best. IWM held up great, and that was leading the way for a change yesterday. And we've got this move up. I don't know if this hourly chart's going to pull in, but anyway, right from the get-go, with the gap up, this started moving up, and there was buying in biotechs, XBI, KRE. So those are some of the big components. You see KRE's got a wide range bar. That looks like it should take out these highs, maybe not today, but that's a constructive pattern that suggests it should be able to go up. XBI is working on a retest W type of a bottom, had a nice green day. That suggests it should be able to go up. Financials We knew they were a little extended, but look at what it did. It's creating a red bar ignored. It's at this resistance area, pretty significant resistance area. So a continuation pattern with a weekly chart that looks like that, or if this was a 5-minute chart and this was an hourly chart, be the same thing, multiple time frame alignment or misalignment. Likely to follow through with that is less likely since it's bottom of the range, top of the range. Common sense. Crude oil is up this morning. Looks like it could go up. It's got some room. It's dealing with a little consolidation breakout and hesitancy, but that looks like it should go up. XRT, I'm looking at, looks great. We talked about the slowing momentum. It had a nice day yesterday. That looks good. Transports. Did we look at that? I'm trying to get back up to the top of the range. It's kind of messy. The 10-year up a little bit. Not doing much of anything, sitting down here. Didn't do much yesterday, moved down, but no big deal. I guess bond traders are waiting for data tomorrow. What else here we're going to look at? Gold up here. It should go higher, right? It just should go higher. Why is it going to go higher? Well, I guess inflation flies in the face. We talked about commodity prices going up, ags going up, yet markets are oblivious to it. But maybe it's all about thinking the economy is going to be so fantastic that interest rates can go up. There's going to be a stronger demand for money. Well, interest rates aren't really going up much, but you got these opposing forces and intermarket relationships and a little out of sync. So it gets a little confusing. But as far as equities goes, as we see different ETF sectors and the broader markets, they're pointing toward going higher, regardless of being extended. And it is what it is. Silver, little buy setup, came down kind of hard, pulling back here, didn't quite get to the top of the range. So that kind of can't get out of its own way, but it's pulled back to the rising 20. And if it can take out these highs right here, that should follow higher. And the dollar here, not doing too much of anything, but it did break out. Remember, this was this dividend. This all has to be dragged down. So the dollar's going up. That's another piece of information that says, you know what? All this talk about the Fed, 6 cuts. Oh, no, maybe it's 3 cuts. Maybe it's going to be 1 cut. So the dollar starts to show some strength. It's the thought. We'll see. But, the broader market's been banking on cuts. So the only thing I think that could really crack it, nothing to suggest that now, would be no cut. But maybe tomorrow's news, we shall see. And Bitcoin, that's up here, a couple of thousand points, consolidating. By the way, the guy that took the millions or billions, if you didn't hear, he's getting sentenced today. That should, I guess people will be watching that. Maybe that helps Bitcoin go up. And futures, you can see they're really not doing too much here. Just consolidating. There's the Qs. Qs still haven't moved. Maybe today is the day. Looking for SMH here, because that, bottoming tail bar. If it can take this out, it's doing nothing, but if it can take this out, AMD, which we talked about, is bottoming. This should start moving up. And then John asked about NVIDIA. Can it go down? Again, I don't know. What is it doing here? Nothing. I wouldn't be shorting the Nvidia. Um, if you got a zero DTE call spread up above here, that's an idea. If there's premium up above here, nothing's happening. I mean, the weekly you can see is extended as it is. It's been doing nothing for a couple of weeks. It's under $1,000, kind of like working on an inside bar or kind of like a bearish engulfing, whatever, just small candle bodies. Um, thing to look at with this or set an alert is under that bottoming tail bars low and up above that topping tail bars high. And if it takes that out, it's probably going to slice through $1,000. If it takes out these lows, it's probably going to be heading way down here to below 800. So, well, I would suggest maybe is a zero DTE spread, either higher or lower, wherever this premium, or which way things are moving today. I mean, the stock is certainly a mover. Day trade it. Other than that, I wouldn't be doing any swings on this because, as you know, institutions love it. AI theme, it's consolidating the gain. Institutions see this thing start to go up, it's going to rip your head off because they'll all come for it. Fear of missing out because they probably think maybe it eventually does go to 1,500 or more. I think that's it for me. We'll see how today shapes up, and everyone enjoy the extra day off.
Good morning. So yeah, this is our zero DTE day, so to speak. Greg, you mentioned retail looking good.
Mm-hmm.
This woman on CNBC, um, the penultimate bear from Dallas. Shoot, what's her name? Tomboy. She made an interesting point that it's totally true, but I just didn't think about it. She says retail sales are up and people are reading the wrong impression saying the economy's strong, or I mean the consumer's strong. But she's like, that's totally wrong. The consumer's tapped out. They're with credit card debt, we got 10-year highs on defaults. We got increasing, we're 100% increase in corporate bankruptcies year over year. She says the reason this is up is because inflation. People are paying the same amount of money for for the same goods.
And let me tell you this, you're making me think, when we hear this kind of things, right? You're making me think many, many years ago. It's a story of two things. I knew nothing about really real estate or building houses, but hey, doesn't matter. It's like people coming to the stock market without an education. I met this guy, builder. We start building houses. The market crashes in 87. I'm in deep shit with it, so on and so forth. But anyway, the guy tells me a story. He went bankrupt many years before and another real estate bubble popped. And he said, Greg, my biggest mistake was not to get more credit cards and take the money and go
Wow.
bankrupt. So
Wow.
what you made me think of was, hey, people just go get another credit card. They'll extend it. Eventually, they'll realize their mistake. They'll claim bankruptcy. I mean, someday credit card companies want their money back. That's a given. But if you're underwater now, go get another credit card. Get a cash advance. Get yourself a little cushion of cash, and whatever happens, happens. Your credit will be screwed for a few years.
Right, it can't get more screwed. Right.
Right.
All right, Beyond Alarm just went off. This is right out of yesterday's MT Live. Climo's and this is not a Climo because it's not far from the 20, but it's a retest pattern W with a new low plus. So nothing to do yet. It really needs to get over the tail, but my early alarm went off. ZWS alarm. I was so tempted. Greg, I was mistaken yesterday. I thought you were saying the inflation data was today. It's tomorrow. I would have
Well,
given.
there's data related to inflation. Jobless claims. It's always being read into that. And then there was GDP, which could be a market mover, and there was some other things, but market, I guess, is so fixated on tomorrow that it just blew off those
Yeah,
numbers, which typically move it.
talking about GDP, this other guy who's on there, Payne, I think his name is. He's like, a monkey can make the economy grow when you throw the trillions of dollars at it. And that's another totally accurate statement. So is the economy really rolling along like it's 1999, or is it's just, sugar high? But anyway, this was one of my favorite buy setups for today. Um, I hate when the gap now it's extended on the 15. So yeah, we talked about it. We should have done half into the close, but we'll deal with it. Car alarm. We're in trail mode on this. I had a low alarm, but I don't trust the prints. Tan looks great. Multi-month bottoming pattern. And look, again, yesterday's MT live. This is a monster W bottom on the weekly chart. That's a fact. And the daily's holding. The monthly I call a potential double bottom. The reason is because it's also a bear 1, 2, 3 in a downtrend. So, and ideally for this W bottom on the weekly to trigger, it has to get over this red bar's high. But we now a different concept that we talk about multiple time frames called drilling down. Drilling down now to the daily is inside the weekly and monthly chart, and we're saying, if this holds, we're getting in at the bottom of the W bottom. So, Don, you're always giving me a hard time for buying breakouts and not reversals on support. Here's exhibit A, man. We buy reversals on support all the friggin' time. It's called a W bottom or breakdown failure, or, whatever different flavors. All right, so tan I like. Greg mentioned CRE I like. IWM I like. Closing breakout from a little bull flag. What other sector? XBI I like. Double bottom at the 50. Buy setup weekly. Broke out monthly. So it's pulling back on the monthly. And in the daily weekly is our microscope of getting in at the bottom of the pullback on the monthly. See that? So these are two fantastic examples of multiple time frames with XBI and TAN, but I like them both. All right, let's check earnings here real quick. There's not a whole lot. Well, a couple, but those were my alarms anyway. All right, rum. I was hoping it was going to open flat, then I would have bought yesterday's high, but gapping down. CXM 1460, gap's too big. RH, Greg, this is the one we were contemplating a condor, and we would have been fine because I remember the upper was 370, and it was so low down here, 220 or whatever, I forget.
I knew you should have done it.
Well, I know you're kidding, but we had an intelligent talk about it. I was contemplating doing it naked for $1.45, and then we, are kind of wanting to be more cautious. So when we put on a $5 spread, remember it was only 50 cents. So that's a judgment. Do you want to? And we talked about it. You're risking 9 to make 1. And on paper, that sounds friggin' retarded. But it's not retarded if you understand odds. because so you're risking 9 to make 1, but what if I have 98% probability of working out? Just multiply the two. It's a positive expectation of profit. It's how a casino works too. VNet, I don't see anything. CC gapping down. That could be a short on a bounce. Breeze gapping down. That's breakdown, but I don't like shorting things that are fluid down like that. That's not my style. Playboy. This is a cousin of Rick, I think. It's junk. Penny stock. Day junk. Jeffries, it's been on a tear. Broker dealers have been real strong. Talking about broker dealers, Greg, look at Goldman. I missed this Ripperama. Now it's a bull rectangle. Let's put spread watch. Varent. Oh man, this was gapping up here, and I posted it on our advisory channel when it was right here at 32.75. Look at my cursor. That is a beautiful, beautiful gap on earnings from consolidation. That's not too big. But now it's rallied another $1.20. So the continued strength is messing me up. Mara alarm just went off. A little bull flag here. We're going to do a put spread on this. And I was looking at these because Hut had earnings. Hut bottoming pattern, but bottoming pattern. And then I looked at Riot. These are the trio. Let me set. I have an alarm. I think at 12:50. Another bottoming pattern with a void. Malinkin getting whacked. 23. Wow. I'll keep an eye on that just because of the excessive gap. This was a closing breakout. I don't see any prints, but it shows it down 250. Done. SMTC. Yeah, that was a nice Ripperama on Tuesday. Walgreens flopping around like a fish, doing nothing. MSM, it's sloppy pattern. Azul, Brazilian airline, bull flag, rectangle or whatever. Has room, maybe to 200. We'll see about 30-minute high. There's Hut. CWCO was a bull rectangle. Gap's too big. QBTS gapping down, nothing. All right, so that's all the earnings. These are just leftover ideas. Closing breakout. This looks like a SAM trade. This one, I don't like the way it trades, but breakout daily, weekly, month. A number of these Sam gave me. I'm hoping for a 1, 2, 3 for Monday. See, this one ran too much. Honeywell. Check alarms here. BSX. We're in long already. So let me just set a new alarm. Said G. A solar stock. I posted put spread. That's good to go. Bottoming pattern. Here's another one. It's a potential home run entry. I don't know yet. They're still in downtrends. But the only reason I'm saying that is because of this daily and with the sector tan that we talked about. So I gave this as a put spread. So tan, and I looked at, because of tan, I looked at all in the sector and said G was the best. So I posted this last night.
QCOM looks good above yesterday's high, or a little bit above that. Semiconductor. I don't know why Apple gap down nasty. Microsoft's moving lower. Meta's moving lower. Netflix is moving lower.
Werby, yeah, 30-minute high. Brett, I wouldn't be rushing in anything. Yeah, the
Yes.
Qs we have now a nasty Emma top on the 5-minute trim. All right, you said QCon. Yeah, let's see if it holds. All right, I gotta go through all these alerts here. IYZ. IYZ. Greg, I think we shorted this. I have an up alarm. Roku alarm. Still a piece of garbage. No interest. BSX. Let me set a new alarm.
DVX. Delta's telling me that. Looks great. Breaking out of a nice 2-week consolidation above the 200 MA. Got void. If oil starts taking off, this has been an underperformer compared to a lot of others, but this could be a catch-up type of trade.
You said BBX?
CVX Chevron.
Yeah, breakout, sure. Yeah, I like it.
Stop under yesterday's low.
Yeah. All right, I'll post that. I'll get through all these alarms. Akamai alarm. Let me set it higher, but not rushing into anything. Akamai 109.80. Yeah, Apple actually posted a put spread over yesterday's high, so let's cancel that now.
RIVN has been coming up active the last few days. Looks like it's
Riven?
RIVN. That
Riven.
stock, yeah. Being bought down here. Nasty downtrend, but
All right, Riot up alarm. Snow I posted with this gap. Let me see where that's at now. Said G, Greg, do you like this directional too as a bottoming fisher?
no, I'd hate bottoming stocks as directionals.
No. So I just gave a put spread beyond dog meat up alarm. Snow 155, 150. Midpoint right now 60 cents, so we're close. E-turn, Brett, not sure what you're thinking there. It's a Climo. All right, snow is hitting now.
And Microsoft, big nasty 5-minute bars, and Nvidia.
Oh, yeah, and Meta Netflix too. 15-minute. There's breakout failure. Netflix. Yeah, there's a bottoming pattern. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that's a SAM trade. I think we looked at it yesterday. Yeah, I'm just not entering, a gap breakout with a iffy market. I'll wait for a pullback. All right, Beyond Meat, dog. See how it closes. Mara, I gave a put spread. This is triggered. Let's see what the juice is. I gave this pre-market. So the 19.5, 17. Midpoint 24, and I went at 35. All right, so we're nowhere near it. Home Depot coming in hard, so let's hold off on that. So for the put spread over the high, 387.61. And Home Depot was buying a supplying company, supplier. Said G triggered. Let's see what the juice is. It's 64.60. Midpoint now is 33. I went at 46. So that is not filled. Now snow, we got filled right at the bottom of the day. I hope this holds now. And then that will be a home run entry. Yeah, yeah. Not sure about the target, but top of the range is all. But you might get $1 out of it. It's extended on the 15 now, but yeah, it's a breakout. All right, Mara, again, for a swing, it's not a big target, but I posted it as a put spread. Right, let me check the juice bar. The 1150s for next week. 19 cents, not bad. Meets my 1% test. 13 cents for $1 wide. 1150. Yeah, check earnings. 5.8. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, let's do it. Try, try 13. Um, I got filled 13. RL. I well, I personally would wait maybe 30-minute high. Spiders. Spiders looking good. IWM looks great. Um, so Greg, I posted IWM as just a watch, not official in the ETF letter. TTD. Going sideways. Nothing to do now to me.
Apple's not happy today.
News are breaking out though. with Apple, Meta, Netflix tanking. Semi is strong, but have a hard time believing that this semi must be some text in there, obviously. Our ISRG put spread AMD alarm. Yeah, that's a directional. Also put spread. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Remember when I saw tan? That's the first one I went to. Yeah. No up alarm. Nice. We got a beautiful entry on that. Wow, we got filled at the dead low on this. Excellent. In fact, I was a little scared the way it was coming in hard. I was thinking, should I cancel it? Yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'll put on the list for next week. Sure. That Chevron we bought. Let me post that. Now tan I posted too. $57.40. Baxter, long calls. This was pre-market, so on this pullback, we might get filled. $42 calls. Or 105, yep, 105 right there. Perfect. Okay, that's pre-market. See if we got filled. S wave. First, well, that's a good question. Is that too far from the 20? It's sure an igniting bar. I'd say it depends on your stop. You know, I would like the same 1, 2, 3 if this bar were more like that. But it's sure bullish and looks higher. I think this was the one that had a buyout rumor from, I think it was J&J, if I remember right. All right, Akamai bottoming pattern. Let's see if put spread idea. 107 down there at the 200. 20 cents for next week. No, thank you. No, 10. All right, are we getting filled on this pullback? 43.40. Yeah, 47. So we have price improvement. Akamai, what I just said. MPA. There's no volume. Steve, is this the right one? BlackRock Munis? That doesn't sound like you. MPC maybe? No. You like those munis? Trim mode on the car. All right, lunar gap under our stop today. My move stop 5-minute low. So 5-minute low is 627. Guy West up alarm, Maichi, that's you. Nice. Move stop. Right here. 61.31. All right, well, let's have a busy morning. Check opens now. McGraw gave me the snow. He said the big inside buying. Hold on, Don. I got to read the bye-bye up alarm. Where's Alex? I haven't seen him all morning. Does he have his bond hearing today? All right. All right, Don, let me read what you just wrote. You need the dollar value of the stock price and limit to be triggered if I pull back. No, it depends, Don. So good question. It depends. If something gaps over the entry, like Home Depot, our rule is 5-minute high is the trigger on the stock. And then, yes, 95% of the time, I give a limit entry on selling options. Sometimes I really don't know where it's going to be and I don't want to miss it. And I'll say, hey, if it triggers over this, just do it at midpoint. But that's like 5% of the time. So if it does not take out a 5-minute high and I get a nice pullback and reversal on support or, any other picture that I like, I will send out a new telegram to say it's good to go now at X price. Sound good? All right, cool.